All right, the alert just hit my phone.
Let me make sure you guys are live.
3 waiting. I got nothing about it, Joe. No, I don't need a page. Oh.
Meta earnings call and the Microsoft earnings call with the bonus of looking at what happens with Tesla after their call. I'm Glenn.
I'm Ryan.
We're going to be here for like the next 465 days straight.
Ooh, Glenn, you might be solo on that, buddy.
I hear you. I would rather be solo. I would not rather be solo. All right, so in the background, I'm going to bring that up real quick. I don't know which way I want to have it. In the background, we've got the Meta sales call, earnings call ready. It doesn't kick off until 5 o'clock, but we're ready for it. They've got all of their slides and all of that stuff. Scratchy. All right, static on the microphone. Gosh dang it. Something is up with this microphone. Mike. Here we go. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Meta's jumping up to about 690 right now. Microsoft down, but I see consolidation, possible breakout to the upside here soon.
Hold on, Ryan. I want to make sure my mic is right.
Yeah.
Before we keep going. All right, check 1 2. Check 1 2. You got to let me know before we move on because it's going to be a lot of stuff moving. Good, better. All right, good now.
Better,
all right.
good now. Excellent.
Clay, I'm putting in a request for a new mic.
We'll get you a new mic.
Okay.
Request denied.
Not for this.
You're good.
Not for this. I need a new mic. All right. So this is the background for the Meta call. We've got a watch list for the 3 stocks. We're going to listen to Meta. We're going to listen to Microsoft. The market is closed. Let's go put this on. Use extended hours so we can see what's going on. Microsoft is like Ryan was getting ready to say. Microsoft is up 4% after market. All right, let's go see. Is it up 4% after? It's up. Microsoft is down 1%. Meta's up. Meta just went negative prior to earnings call, and Tesla is up about 1%. We're looking real time after market. So we'll see what's going on. Looking at the Tesla, the RS times CI times growth is the only one that's negative. By way of that indicator, RS times CI times growth, Meta is the best, followed by Microsoft, and then Tesla is the worst. Also notice, Ryan, looking right at this, the Meta and Microsoft are the two fundamentally sound stocks, whereas Tesla is not. So,
Of these three, my pick is going to be Meta.
yeah, Meta by way of the software. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. CI above 1, fundamentally sound. RT above 1, nicely above 1. Same as Tesla.
It's the only one with a buy rating as well right now.
And the only one with a buy rating.
DeepSeek.
All right. Bill says, what about CLS? CLS, are they reporting earnings today? I mean, Mukesh says CLS has come out with... Listen, we can't cover all of the stocks that are coming out with earnings today. OMG. Well, look at CLS. Now, I am not adding another one who reported earnings today. I will add CLS, all right? If they look at that, 21% up after market. They must have killed it on earnings. View the stock graph. They must have killed it on earnings. There's some real power in Dr. D's buy signal. Julian says your microphone sounds bad. Do a refresh your YouTube. Julian, try that. Unless everybody tells me that my mic is bad. Try that. Refresh your YouTube, Julian. Look at that move on CLS. Holy smoke. Well, that's end of day. That's 129. That's today. Oh, it's because we're not into pre-market. So that's still end of day today. Nice move on it. Holy smokes. They must have killed it on earnings. Put earnings. Oh, did they? How come I don't see earnings showing up today?
You got a gap to fill as well.
Earnings 1023, 1123, 1223, 123. It was earnings. It has to be. It just has not shown up here. And that's interesting that it hasn't shown up here.
No, they're scheduled for January 30th. Tomorrow.
Wow. So is this... See, that's why I didn't want to put CLS in there. You said CLS beat earnings. Yes. CLS today.
Yeah, it says 8. The earnings call is 8 a.m. Eastern time, it looks like. So I see it as an upcoming event. Yeah, it looks like it's tomorrow morning.
I'm taking CLS off the list. See,
I'm
taking CLS off the list. It hasn't come out yet.
Hey,
I
get it. You know what we should put there? ASML. They reported this morning. I'm curious, and we were talking about it before. I like ASML. I like the dip. I think they're up like 4%. Good job on the short, by the way, Glenn.
How about everybody says that CLS reported today? Hold on. Let's go see. So I don't know what Ryan's looking at, but I'm going to back him up one way or the other.
Double checking.
Tools.
When I searched it.
Earnings calendar. Let's go see. CLS. There's a lot of stocks reporting.
Yeah, there are Intel reports tomorrow.
There it is. They did report today.
Okay.
Interesting. No data here yet. So it must have just come out. No data here yet. Let's go see.
It has their earnings call at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
I don't know. This is weird. All of this is weird. October 22nd. They don't even have the earnings for today yet. They reported today, call tomorrow. But if they
that's interesting.
But if they
That's
reported today, it should be here and it should be in the news. Would you not think, Ryan? After hours is up 15%.
Logically thinking, you
huh?
That's probably why I was throwing for a curveball. The earnings call is tomorrow. That's why I Googled.
The call is tomorrow, but there's nothing here that says what they did. That's interesting. So I got to say, it's interesting. It has earnings on Robinhood. CLS, yeah, I got it that it's up 14, almost 15% after hours. I'm going to look at one other place. Go to my go-to. I got to go to. Markets, seeking alpha. Let's go.
Surf, Sun, and Sand says CLS reported 1.115, estimated at 1.038. So looks like they beat estimations.
So you got it somewhere. There it is. Celestica beats by 5. Revenue beats by 20 million. Is that what you just said? Yeah.
I was just reading the Cardinal
Yeah, it was
or the
interesting
Canadian,
that
the Canadian band.
I had to
I
go to
love
my
these names.
go-to to find it. I had to go to my go-to to find it, which happens to be Seeking Alpha. But there's the data. All right, let's go back to the calendar. I'm gonna take this off. Y'all got us all twisted in here. We're like, no, it reported where? All right, but we find it. They evidently they reported, but the call is.
Oh, did you check your Meta? Did it send you the link for Meta, the earnings call? Because that is in 4
I'm in
minutes.
it. I showed
Okay,
that. I remember I showed that from the beginning. We're already there. The slides are there. As soon as it called, they will just start talking. We got it. That's the first thing I showed. Was you not watching?
Nope.
Okay, that's honest.
And I
answer.
can barely see it on my
Well,
screen.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know how to fix that.
You can't figure it.
Well, the only way we could fix it is if we did it at the training center. That's another whole story in and of itself. Yeah.
It's a whole story.
That is another whole story. So,
someone says we're frozen. Bill says, anyone else frozen, or is it just me? That was a second comment.
if you're frozen, hit the
Bill,
reset.
refresh the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or close out of the browser, re-enter. But I'd imagine we'd have a whole lot more frozen comments if it was a widespread issue.
Earnings call, Microsoft, ASML, up for. They reported, like you said earlier today, they're up after market, up 4.76%.
Okay.
So ready for Microsoft and Meta. All right, it's going to come up in about 3 minutes. But these are the stocks. Ryan added ASML, which I thought was a good pick. I did a short, like Ryan said. Thank you for that. Did a short.
So I pulled up a Microsoft story, and the reason why it's dipping. Remember, they're in the live stream. I said it's all about the cloud numbers.
Right.
Cloud numbers missed.
Ooh.
That seems to be the reason why they dipped, and obviously, we'll get more information on that during the live call at 5:30. But like I said, it's such a huge market cap. Room for growth for them is pretty limited, especially as overvalued as they are. I mean, look at the VectorVest 7 system. We value at 317. What's it trading at?
441.
441. Greatly overvalued. Meta's undervalued. ASML is overvalued. Tesla, I won't even talk about their valuation. That's a premium you're paying. Be careful with Tesla.
Bill, I'm not going to add CLS. Their call is tomorrow. We already looked at it. It was up nicely, but there was a little bit of confusion because we couldn't find it. Then we found it, but their call is not until tomorrow. ASML's already got their call. We're looking at 3 stocks whose calls are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that, and that's why this list is here. Some of the more popular ones. All right, we're gonna get back to the screen for the Meta call. There's music playing in the background. It's like elevator music. All right, but the Meta, they've already got the slides here, so we can see ahead of time what's going on, which I think is kind of cool.
But I do like how the expenses of a percentage of revenue is decreasing. Look at that one. Not that one. A lot of charts there. That one.
Everybody's trying to save money. Everybody's trying to save money. They're trying to be more efficient. So it looks like they're trying to do the same thing. All right, you're welcome, Bill. You're welcome. All right, let's go back to we got about 1 minute. 1 minute. And we're going to see if we can make sure that everybody can hear the call. When y'all are ready for us, when is the next call? At 5:30? Yeah. When y'all are ready to leave, start letting us know. All right, when y'all are ready to leave.
Around 10 or 15 minutes into it.
Yeah, because it gets boring.
And we'll have, about 10 or 15 minutes to switch over to the other one. Maybe look at a chart or two.
It's interesting that the amount of people that are here are lower than normally. Maybe the names are not big enough. Curious.
Well, let's ask this question. What earnings call would you guys be interested in?
That'd be interesting.
There's Apple tomorrow, because normally we aim for like the big,
right.
The big market cap ones. Those are generally the ones that are gonna at least generate enough people watching it.
Well, Microsoft is in that category. It's top 3.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just curious, looking at the number.
I imagine it's gonna jump up though when we get to the earnings call itself, which should be starting here any minute. Is it still elevator music?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, Nvidia's earnings call. That's
That was
probably be a
huge.
good one. Yeah. All of them serve Sun insane. That, and a SMCI. That I don't know if we'll do it for our earnings call, but I have a feeling we might do a video on SMCI soon. I have Tesla, Apple. It's Apple tomorrow. Yeah, that would be a big one.
I'm just curious that, as I'm looking at the number, it's not anywhere near where I expected it to be, especially for these two companies. That's all.
Correct, especially seeing AMA and even the
Good
power.
afternoon.
Here's the call.
My name is Krista, and I will be your
Can everybody
conference
hear it?
operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the Meta
there's a
fourth
delay.
quarter and full year 2024 earnings conference call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question,
All right, there's the
please
earnings
press
call.
star 1 on your telephone keypad.
Mine's been
To
playing.
withdraw your question, again,
Are you
press
still on
star
a
1.
delay?
And we ask that you limit yourself to one
Yeah.
question. And this call will be recorded. Thank you very much. Kenneth Dorrell, Meta's Director of Investor Relations, you may
Glenn,
begin.
check that share sound
Thank
setting.
you. Good afternoon and welcome to
Because
Meta
Ryan should be
Platforms'
hearing
fourth
it through
quarter
Teams.
and full year 2024 earnings conference call. Joining me today to discuss our results
About
are
now?
Mark Zuckerberg, CEO, and
Much
Susan
better.
Lin,
Now it's
CFO.
live.
Before we get started, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that our remarks today will include forward-looking statements. Actual results may differ materially from those contemplated by these forward-looking statements. Earnings press release and in our quarterly report on Form 10-Q filed with the SEC. Any forward-looking statements that we make on this call are based on assumptions as of today, and we undertake no obligation to.
All right, he just stopped talking.
During this call, we
Okay.
will present both
Got
GAAP
him.
and certain non-GAAP financial measures. A reconciliation of GAAP to non-GAAP measures is included
All right.
in today's earnings press release. The earnings press release and an accompanying investor presentation are available on our website at investor.atmeta.com. And now I'd like to turn the call over to Mark.
Oh,
Ended 2024 on a strong note with now more than 3.3 billion people using at least one of our apps each day.
3.3 billion.
This is going to be a really big year. I know it all.
Keep losing him.
Zuck, what
It feels
happened
like
to
the
you?
trajectory for most of our long-term initiatives is going to be a lot clearer by the end of this year. So I keep telling our teams that this is going to be intense because we have about 48 weeks to get on the trajectory that we want to be on. In AI, I expect the AI assistant reaches more than 1 billion people, and I expect Meta AI to be that leading AI assistant. Meta AI is already used by more people than any other assistant, and once a service reaches
No, it's not.
that kind of scale,
It's
it usually
ChatGPT.
develops a durable long-term advantage. We have a really exciting roadmap for this year with a unique vision focused on personalization. We believe that people don't all want to use the same AI. People want their AI to be personalized to their context, their interests, their personality, their culture, and how they think about the world. I don't think that there's just going to be one big AI that everyone uses that does the same thing. People are going to get to continue to think that this is going to be one of the most transformative products that we've made. And we have some fun surprises that I think people are going to like this year. I think this will very well be the year when Llama and open source become the most advanced and widely used AI models as well. Llama 4 is making great progress in training. Llama 4 Mini is done with
This sucks.
pre-training. And our reasoning models and larger model are looking good too. Our goal with Llama 3 was to make open source competitive with closed models and natively multimodal. It's an omni model and it will have agentic capabilities. So it's going to be novel and it's going to unlock a lot of new use cases. And I'm looking forward to sharing more of our plan for the year on that over the next couple of months. I also expect that 2025 will be the year when it becomes possible to build an AI engineering
Oh, this sucks.
agent that has coding and problem-solving abilities of around a good mid-level engineer, and this is going to be a
Okay.
profound milestone in history, like as well as over time potentially a very large market. Um, Whichever company builds this first, I think is going to have a meaningful advantage in deploying it to advance their AI research and shape the field. So that's another reason why I think that this year is going to set the course for the future. Our Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses are a real hit, and this will be the year when we understand the trajectory for AI glasses as a category. Many breakout products in their third generation. This will be a defining year that determines if we're on a path towards many hundreds of millions and eventually billions of AI glasses, and glasses being the next computing platform like we've been talking about for some time, or if this is just going to be a longer grind. Um, but it's great overall to see people recognizing that these glasses are the perfect form factor for AI, as well as just great stylish glasses. These are all big
Hey,
investments,
I heard you talk about those Ray-Bans are
especially
hot.
the hundreds of
I
billions of
like 'em.
dollars that we will invest in AI infrastructure over the long term. I announced last week that we expect to bring online almost a gigawatt of capacity this year, and we're building a 2 gigawatt and potentially bigger AI data center that is so big that it'll cover a significant part of Manhattan if it were placed there. Um, we're planning
As
to
of right
fund
now,
all
saw
of
they're the
that
this
number
story.
one
by,
purchaser for
at the
video
same time,
chips.
investing aggressively in initiatives that use these AI advances to increase revenue growth. And we've put together a plan that will hopefully accelerate the pace of these initiatives over the next few years. That's what a lot of our new headcount growth is going towards. And how well we execute on this will also determine our financial trajectory over the next few years. There are a number of other important product trends related
Meta's
to our
now
family
approaching
of apps
$700.
that I think we're going to know more about this year as well. We're going to learn what's going to happen with TikTok. And regardless of that, I expect Reels on Instagram and Facebook to continue growing. I expect Threads to continue on its trajectory to become the leading discussion platform and eventually reach a billion people over the next several years. Threads
I don't have a Threads
now
account
has
yet.
more than 320 million monthly actives and has been adding more than 1 million signups per day. I expect WhatsApp to continue gaining share and making progress towards becoming the leading messaging platform in the US, like it is in a lot of the rest of the world. WhatsApp now has more than 100 million monthly actives in the US. Facebook is used by more than 3 billion monthly actives, and we're focused on growing its cultural influence. And I'm excited this year to get back to some OG Facebook.
Did he say 300 billion?
All right, so
OG
this is also
Facebook,
going to be a
he
pivotal year
said.
for the metaverse. The number of people using
Yes.
Above a
Quest and
700,
Horizon has
704.
been steadily growing.
That
And this is a
metaverse.
year when a number of the long-term investments
Web3,
that we've
get
been
ready.
working on that will make the metaverse more visually stunning, a lot more about Horizon's trajectory by the end of this year. This is also going to be a big year for redefining our relationship with governments. We now have a U.S. administration that is proud of our leading companies, prioritizes American technology winning, and that will defend our values and interests abroad.
712.
And I am optimistic about the progress and innovation that this can unlock. So this is going to be a big year. I think that this is the most exciting and
he don't like
dynamic
Biden.
that I have ever seen our industry. Between AI, glasses, massive infrastructure projects, doing a bunch of work to try to accelerate our business and building the future of social media, we have a lot to do. And I think we're going to build some awesome things that shape the future of human connection. As always, I am grateful for everyone who's on this journey with us. Thank you. And here's Susan.
Thanks, Mark, and good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Let's begin with our consolidated
Meta is
results.
still undervalued.
All comparisons are on a
731.
year-over-year basis,
Yep.
unless otherwise noted. Q4 total revenue was $48.4 billion, up 21% on both a reported and constant currency basis. Q4 total expenses were $25 billion, up 5% compared to last year. Before I cover the specific cost lines, I would note that our fourth quarter expense growth rate reflects a 13 percentage point favorable impact from legal accrual reductions in Q4 and lower year-over-year restructuring costs. In terms of the specific line items, cost of revenue increased 15%, driven mostly by higher infrastructure costs.
I don't even know where she
R&D
is.
increased 16%, primarily driven by higher employee compensation and infrastructure costs, which were partially offset by lower restructuring
A
costs.
flying flip.
Marketing and sales
Oh.
were approximately flat year-over-year. G&A decreased 67%, driven mostly by lower legal-related expenses due to a $1.55 billion reduction in legal accruals related to certain legal proceedings. We ended the year with over 74,000 employees, up 10%
Damn.
year-over-year,
That's a lot of
with
folk.
growth primarily driven by hiring in priority areas of monetization, infrastructure, generative AI, reality labs, as well as regulation and compliance.
I'm not trying to keep up with her. I don't know where she is.
Fourth quarter operating income was $23.4 billion, representing a 48% operating margin.
Oh, you know better than
Our
them
tax
Beat.
rate for
They
the
got half
quarter
the
was
world
12%.
on their app. They got Llama.
Net
They got
income was
the Ray-Ban. They got all
$20.8
kinds
billion,
of stuff. I
or
like it.
$8.02 per share.
Net income.
Capital expenditures, including principal payments on finance leases, were $14.8 billion, driven by investments in servers, data centers, and network infrastructure.
Okay.
Free cash flow was $13.2 billion. We paid $1.3 billion in dividends to shareholders, ending the year with $77.8 billion in cash and marketable securities and $28.8 billion in debt.
Forget this. We just listen.
Moving now to our segment results.
I'm not trying to find it.
I'll begin with our Family of Apps segment.
I
Our
saw
community across the Family of Apps continues to grow.
AMD's trying to creep
And we
back
estimate
up.
more than
Microsoft
3.3
still
billion
down.
people used at least one of our Family of Apps on a
Tesla
daily
struggling
basis
to get
in
above
December.
400.
Q4 total Family of Apps revenue was $47.3 billion, up 21% year-over-year. And Q4
Ooh,
Family
look
of
at
Apps
that.
ad
Look
revenue
at that
was
pullback on Meta.
$46.8 billion, up 21% on both a reported and constant currency basis. Within ad revenue, the online commerce vertical was the largest contributor to year-over-year growth. On a user geography basis, ad revenue growth was strongest in rest of world at 27%, followed by Asia Pacific and Europe at 23% and 22% respectively. North America grew 18%. In Q4, the total number of ad impressions served across our services
I'm just using a trend line on the top end of
6%,
Meta's
and
trend.
the average price
And I
per
could see
ad
some resistance
increased
coming in around
14%.
712 to 715
Impression growth
come
was mainly
tomorrow.
driven by Asia Pacific.
Would not be
Pricing growth
surprised.
benefited from increased advertiser demand, in part driven by improved ad performance. This was partially offset by impression growth, particularly from lower monetizing regions and surfaces. Family of Apps other revenue was $519 million, up 55%, driven primarily by business messaging revenue growth from our WhatsApp business platform. We continue to direct the majority of our investments toward the development and operation of our
You ever
Family
use
of Apps.
WhatsApp,
No.
Glenn?
In Q4, Family of Apps expenses were
If you don't want to use
$19
a
billion,
phone,
representing
WhatsApp is pretty
76%
much
of
the
our overall
replacement of
expenses.
your traditional phone service.
Family of Apps expenses were up
A
5%,
lot of scams on it, though, just a
primarily
heads
due to
up.
growth in infrastructure
I'm wondering
costs and
how
employee
that went all the way
compensation,
down to
which were
676
partially
before
offset
it jumped.
by lower
Somebody dumped
legal-related
shares.
expenses.
A lot of them.
Family of Apps operating income was $28.3 billion, representing a 60% operating margin. Within our Reality Labs segment, Q4 revenue was $1.1 billion, driven by hardware sales and up 1% year-over-year. Reality Labs expenses were $6 billion, up 6% year-over-year, driven primarily by higher infrastructure costs and employee compensation, partially offset by lower restructuring costs. Reality Labs' operating loss was $5 billion. Turning now to the business outlook. There are two primary factors that drive our revenue performance: our ability to deliver engaging experiences for our community and our effectiveness at monetizing that engagement over time. On the first, daily actives
Yeah,
continue
Linda, so
to
you're
grow
familiar with it.
across Facebook, Instagram, and
Great
WhatsApp
app,
year over
just
year,
a lot of
both
scamming,
globally
a lot
and
of
in the United States.
like you
In
said, ignore
Q4,
people
global
you
video
don't know
time
on
grew
it.
at double-digit percentages year over year on Instagram. And we're seeing particular
But
strength
it
in
is
the
the
US on
worldwide
Facebook,
communication app
where
of
video
the
time
future,
spent was also
hands
up
down.
double-digit rates year over year.
ServiceNow
We see
reported as
continued
well.
opportunities to drive video growth in
Yeah.
2025 through ongoing optimizations to our ranking systems. We're also making several product bets that are focused on setting up our platforms for longer-term success. Creators are one of our central focuses. On Instagram, we continue to prioritize original posts and recommendations to help smaller creators get discovered. We also want to ensure creators have a place to experiment with their content. So we introduced a new feature in Q4 that allows creators to first share a reel with people who don't follow them.
Oh, that's
This
cool.
allows them to test
ServiceNow
content
gets its
and see
ass
what
kicked.
performs
Holy
best before
smokes.
deciding to share it with their followers.
And
And
yep,
also helps
I mean, look at
introduce
that
them to
valuation. It's
entirely
way
new
overvalued.
audiences.
Ooh.
Creative tools is another area we're investing in. In the coming weeks, we'll launch a new standalone app called Edits that provides a full suite of creative tools to make it easier for creators to make great reels on their phone. Another focus is making it easier for people to connect over content. Reels are already reshared over 4.5 billion
Reels.
times a day,
I've made
and
a
we've been
few.
introducing more features that bring together the social and
Both on my
entertainment
Facebook and
aspects
my
of Instagram.
BJ Facebook.
In the US, we recently launched a new destination in Reels that consists of content your friends have left a note on or liked. We're seeing very positive early results, and we'll look to expand this globally in the coming months.
I mean, the
On
reels,
Threads, we made
that's the
tremendous
future.
progress
Yeah,
in
man.
Especially with
2024,
TikTok
and
kind of
our
out of the
focus
picture
this
right
year
now.
is
They better
establishing
capitalize
Threads
on
as the
that.
place people come to keep up with what they care about. We're making a number of updates to our recommendation systems to prioritize more recent posts, surface content from top creators, and ensure people see more of the content from accounts they follow. We will also continue improving custom feeds so people can build personalized feeds on topics they're interested in.
708.
Finally, Meta AI usage continues to
Change
scale with
that
more than
meta
700
graph to 6
million monthly
months
actives.
or 1 year.
We're now introducing updates that will enable Meta
6
AI
months.
to deliver more
And you
personalized
see the
and
two
relevant
hump.
responses
Go to 6 months.
by remembering certain details from people's prior
You see the
queries and
two
considering
humps.
what they
That one
engage
right
with
there.
on Facebook and
And then if
Instagram
you go
to
prior,
develop better intuition
swing
for their
right that
interests
connect a
and
line across
preferences.
that, and it'll put you right where
Now
you're
to
at
the
now.
second
That's why I'm
driver
thinking
of
we
our
might get
revenue
rejection.
performance, increasing monetization efficiency. The
Or
first
wait,
part
not
of this
that one. It
work
was
is
the one before.
optimizing the level of
The
ads with
first
an
one you
organic
got
engagement.
connected to the one prior.
We continue to grow supply on lower
Here?
monetizing surfaces like
Oh,
video,
never mind.
while optimizing ad supply
Yeah,
on
I'm
each of our
not sure what you're
surfaces to
asking.
deliver ads at the time and place they will be most relevant to people. For example, we are continuing to better personalize when ads show up, including the optimal locations in the depth of someone's feed, to introduce ad supply when it's most optimal for the user and revenue. This is enabling efficient supply growth. Longer term, we also see impression growth opportunities on unmonetized surfaces like Threads, which we are beginning to test ads on this quarter. We expect the introduction of ads on Threads will be gradual and don't anticipate it being a meaningful driver of overall impression or revenue growth in 2025. The second part of increasing monetization efficiency is improving marketing performance. The ongoing enhancements to our ads ranking systems are an important driver of this work. In the second half of 2024, we introduced an innovative new machine learning system in partnership with NVIDIA called Andromeda. This more
A lot of
efficient
names
system
coming out.
enabled a 10,000 times increase in the complexity of models we use for ads retrieval, which is the part of the ranking process where we narrow down a pool of tens of millions of ads to the few thousand we consider showing someone. The increase in model complexity is enabling us to run far more sophisticated prediction models to better personalize which ads we show someone.
They need a
This has driven
collaboration
an
with
8%
Palantir.
increase in the quality of ads that people see on
I'm surprised if
objectives
they
we've
don't
tested.
already.
Huh?
Andromeda's ability to
I'd be surprised
efficiently
if they don't
process
already. At
larger
some,
volumes
to
of
some
ads
extent.
also positions us well for the future as advertisers use our generative AI tools to create and test more ads. Another way we're delivering value for advertisers is through increased automation
So an
of their
article I
ad
found
campaigns
November
with Advantage
15th,
Plus.
2024.
Yeah.
Adoption of
Meta and
Advantage Plus
Palantir
shopping
join
campaigns
forces in
continues to
defense,
scale, with
tech,
revenue
AI
surpassing a
services.
$20 billion
So yeah, they're
annual
in
run
partnership.
rate and growing 70% year over year in Q4. Given the strong performance and interest we're seeing in Advantage Plus shopping and our other end-to-end solutions, we're testing a new streamlined campaign creation flow so advertisers no longer need to choose between running a manual or Advantage Plus sales or app campaign. In this new setup, all campaigns optimizing for sales, app, or lead objectives will have Advantage Plus turned on from the beginning. This will allow more advertisers to take advantage of the performance Advantage Plus offers, while still having the ability to further customize aspects of their campaigns when they need to. We plan to expand to more advertisers in the coming months before fully rolling it out later in the year. Advantage Plus Creative is another area where we're seeing momentum. More than 4 million advertisers are now using at least one of our generative AI ad creative tools,
Advantage
up
Plus.
from 1 million 6 months ago. There has been significant early adoption of our first video generation tool that we rolled out in October, image animation, with hundreds of thousands of advertisers already using it monthly. Next, I would like to discuss our approach to capital allocation. Our primary focus remains investing capital back into the business, with infrastructure and talent being our top priorities. On the first, we expect compute will be central to many of the opportunities we're pursuing as we advance the capabilities of Llama, drive increased usage of generative AI products and features across our platform, and fuel core ads and organic engagement initiatives. We're working to meet the growing capacity needs for these services by both scaling our infrastructure footprint and increasing the efficiency of our workloads.
See you, Linda.
Another way we're pursuing efficiencies is by extending the useful lives of our
We got
servers and
7 minutes
associated
for the next
networking
call.
equipment. Our expectation going forward is that we'll be able to use both our non-AI and AI servers for a longer period of time before replacing them, which we estimate will be approximately 5.5 years. This will deliver savings in annual CapEx and resulting depreciation expense, which is already included in our guidance. Finally, we're pursuing cost efficiencies by deploying our custom MTIA silicon in areas where we can achieve a lower cost of compute by optimizing the chip to our unique workloads. In 2024, we started deploying MTIA to our ranking and recommendation inference workloads for ads and organic content. We expect to further ramp adoption of MTIA for these use cases throughout 2025 before extending our custom silicon efforts to training workloads for ranking and recommendations next year. From a hiring standpoint, our focus continues to be on adding technical talent to support our strategic priorities. In the fourth quarter, nearly 90% of our year-over-year headcount growth was within the R&D function. The remaining growth was primarily in cost of revenue as we added infrastructure headcount to support our data center operations. In 2025, we expect headcount growth will continue to be primarily driven by technical roles across our priority initiatives within infrastructure, monetization, reality labs, generative AI, as well as regulation and compliance. We anticipate headcount growth in our business functions will remain relatively limited.
Like a
To
freeze.
achieve our ambitions in these areas, we will need to continue executing at a rapid pace. We're supporting this by building tools to help our engineering base be more
All
productive.
right, you ready to close up
As
this
part
one?
of our
Yep.
You got
efficiency
just a
focus
few
over
minutes
the
to
past
switch
2
over to
years,
Microsoft.
we've made
But
significant
all I heard
improvements
was
in our
great
internal
stuff from Mark
processes and
Zuckerberg.
developer
You know, even
tools,
this lady
and
presented,
introduced
great
new
stats
tools
for
like
the
our
company. I can see
AI-powered
why it's
coding
shooting up right
assistant,
now.
which is helping our engineers write code
Still
more quickly.
undervalued to our metrics. So
Looking forward, we
still a fan of Meta.
expect that the continuous advancement
All right, we left them. I got to check my email to see if I got a link. Oh, shucks. That's not what I wanted. What?
You saved yourself there.
Where's my email? See, I didn't get an email for this. Thank you for subscribing. Email alerts. A verification email has been sent to you. Please, I already did that. This is gonna.
Check your spam box.
I don't know. Where
Yeah,
my-
check your spam folder, your other,
Deleted.
your all your email.
I don't have a spam box. I've got
Pretty sure you got a spam box
unread,
somewhere.
sent, deleted, drafts, archive, junk mail. Oh.
This is why we need that AI assist sooner than later.
Dividendstocks.com. No. Oh, sigh. That was at 5 o'clock. Nothing since 5 o'clock. That's in my.
You want to try to submit it again and see if you get one? If that doesn't work, there's always Tesla at 5:32. That should be an interesting call, honestly.
Thank you for subscribing. A verification email has been sent. That went to my regular inbox.
So you got it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad the first one worked. I'm hoping that this one works as well. You may automatically receive blah, 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 blah. I did click submit. I got no emails. There it is. Please confirm. Confirm your registration. Okay.
Microsoft's still down 433. Tesla's up. It's pulling back a little bit. It's at 398, struggling above that 400 level. Meta back at a 711 here, 785.
That's interesting. It's about to tick me off a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. What is this? See, I went through this. Yeah, this is not how I wanted to do it. All Microsoft, business, small business, other, entertainment, business. Support. You have multiple accounts.
Can't Microsoft be out in about 2 minutes?
I got multiple accounts. Yeah, I signed up for it twice.
I don't know if you want that verification window on the
It doesn't work unless you can get into my account.
Oh, true. You gotta have that 2 authentication factor.
Yeah.
Tesla misses revenue, but expects growth rebound in 2025. The share price is up 1.4%. Yeah, Ravi. We did the last Tesla earnings call live, and Elon made an ambitious goal of 30% increase in deliveries. So that's what I'm going to focus on in that call. The robots, the taxis, he can talk about all he wants. It's not here yet. The deliveries and the growth in those deliveries is what I'm concerned about right now. Growth rebound. We shall see with those numbers.
You consider Tesla a growth stock? Yes? No, I don't.
A growth stock? I think it's way overvalued to be a growth stock right now. Way overvalued.
I'm not happy that I cannot get to the live stream.
If certain things come to fruition. Well, should we pull up Tesla? Because we got about a minute. And if Microsoft ain't working. I'd rather have one of the calls than no calls. And honestly, with that report I heard about the cloud services with Microsoft missing estimates, that was my biggest concern. Looks like that came to fruition. So that would be I'd be a little bit more bearish on Microsoft. We're trying to figure that out, Linda. It's in Glenn's hands.
Find us. Careers. I don't want to shop. Earnings. See, the Microsoft one, I'm glad the Meta one worked. The Microsoft one didn't work, and I'm not sure how to get to. I don't want to sign in. And I Googled it. Tesla.
Looks like we're switching over to Tesla, people. We cannot get the Microsoft link, unfortunately. Glenn signed up twice. Was not able to get that email link. But again, like I said, I saw the article, the revenue missed, or the cloud space missed on estimates, and that's why the stock is down right now. This was my biggest concern going in, and that did come to light. Is that looking any better? Because on my teams, I could barely see whatever you're doing.
Okay, watch on YouTube. Thinking I can watch this. Okay, I got music playing in the background.
Hey, Linda, have a good evening. Sorry about that. I apologize. I do like the music. It's much better than what Meta had going on.
This is audio only webcast. I'll take it. You're 2 minutes late. Doesn't matter. People is leaving like a son of a gun.
Now they're coming back up. We're doing Tesla. Maybe they'll come back in.
Oh my gosh, you were just blindly optimistic. That's what you are. You are blind. Yes, you are blindly naive.
Hey, you ain't gonna ruin my
naive
day
optimistic.
Ain't gonna ruin my day today. I'm curious what Elon's got to say.
Elon's not
I really
going
want
to
to see what these developments are with the robots, taxis.
While that's going on, let's go.
You gonna dance with me,
Let's
Glenn?
go look at the stock. It's down.
You gotta change your layout, bud. We're on the me and you layout, I think.
No, we're not. Are we? Did Clay?
Oh, that's what I see.
I think did Clay change it? No, I don't want that. I don't want the you and me. I want us in this. Yeah, thank you. I want us
There we go.
Review the stock graph.
I'll catch the delay here in a second. See if it's switched over. All right, there we got Tesla. Go to 1 day. The after hours.
Intraday when.
Take off the value. Hey,
The music just got faded out.
Good afternoon, everyone,
Hi.
and welcome to Tesla's fourth quarter 2024 Q&A webcast. My name is Travis
Hello.
Axelrod, the head of investor
Hey, Travis.
relations here at Tesla, and I am joined today by Elon Musk and Vaibhav Taneja and a number of other executives. Our Q4 results were announced at about 3 p.m. Central Time in the update deck we published at the same link as this
Look at
webcast.
that. That looks like trash.
During this call, we will discuss our business outlook and
I
make
said I was
forward-looking
saying I
statements.
got
These
rejection on
comments
that
are based
400
on
level.
our predictions and expectations as of today. Actual events or results could differ materially due to a number of risks and uncertainties, including those mentioned in our most recent filings with the SEC. During the question and answer portion of today's call, please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. Please use the raise hand button to join the question queue. Before we jump into Q&A, Elon has some opening remarks. Elon?
Thank you. So in summary, in Q4, we set a record and delivered vehicles at an annualized rate of nearly 2 million a year. Congratulations to the Tesla team on excellent work achieving record production and deliveries. Model Y was the best-selling vehicle of any kind for 2024. That's worth noting. Not just the best electric vehicle, the best vehicle of any kind on Earth. Number one was Model Y.
Wow.
Really?
We're
I did
staying
not know
focused
that.
on
Model Y is number one in the
maximizing
world?
volumes and obviously
President
doubling
Trump
down.
ever
Or
on Earth.
I don't know what.
It'll be
just
the
saying.
best car.
It's
I'm
really,
just saying.
The
I
absolute
was going to say
best
doubling down on
car.
autonomy, but really it's like autonomy is like 10xing things.
I don't
Frankly,
think he's
doubling
beating
is not
Boyd.
even enough. We made many critical investments in 2024 in manufacturing AI and robotics that will bear immense fruit in the future. Immense. Like it's, in fact, to such a scale that it is difficult to comprehend.
Wow. That's big.
And I've
Especially
said
if you
this
put the
before,
robot
and
in
I'll
every
stand
factory
by
in
it.
everybody's house. That's all. I mean,
I
that's,
see a path. I'm
it'll
not saying it's
blow
an easy
past
path, but I see a path
Tesla, or,
for
not
Tesla being the most
NVIDIA
valuable
and
company in the
Microsoft
world
if that
by far.
happens.
Not even close. Like maybe several times more than. I mean, there is a path where Tesla is worth more than the next top 5 companies combined.
Wow.
There's
See, that's
a
what I was
path
telling
to
you
that.
about. If those,
I mean,
whoever
I think
gets the
it's
robot,
like
who knows if it's going to be Tesla, but
an
whoever gets
incredibly,
it done,
it's like a difficult path,
that's
but
the
it is
company
an
of the future.
achievable path. So,
I wouldn't bet against Tesla. Elon.
and that is
Tesla.
overwhelmingly due to autonomous vehicles and autonomous humanoid robots. So, our focus is actually building towards that, and that's what we're laying the ground. We laid the groundwork for that in 2024. We'll continue to lay the groundwork for that in 2025. In fact, more than lay the groundwork, actually, so be building the structure. We're building the manufacturing lines, and I'd like setting up for what I think will be an epic 2026 and a ridiculous 27 and 28. Ridiculously good. That is my prediction.
Ridiculous.
I don't think he's far off though, because his projects they're going to take some time
as
to
yet,
come.
very few people understand the value of full self-driving and our ability to monetize the fleet. I've some of these things I've said for quite a long time, and I know people have said, well, Elon's the boy who cried wolf like several times, but I'm telling you, there's a damn wolf this time.
I like how he calls himself out.
In fact, it can drive you. It's a self-driving wolf. For a lot of people, they're like their experience of Tesla autonomy is like if it's even a year old, if it's even 2 years old, it's like meeting someone when they're like a toddler and thinking that they're going to be a toddler forever. But obviously not going to be a toddler forever. They grow up.
Learning.
But if their last experience was like, oh, FSD was a toddler, it's like, well, it's grown up now. Have you seen it? It's like walks and talks. That's really what we've got.
I wonder if he's got a robot.
And it's difficult for people to understand this because human intuition is linear, as opposed to what we're seeing is exponential progress. So that's why my number one recommendation for anyone who doubts is simply try it. Have you tried it? When's the last time you tried it? And the only people who are skeptical
are people who haven't tried
are those who have not tried it.
Yeah.
Have you been in an autonomous vehicle,
No.
Glenn?
So,
I have been.
a car goes, a
Cool.
passenger car typically
Made me
has only about
nervous.
10 hours of utility
It
per
was
week
weird.
out of
I like that.
168.
It's hard to trust it, but
A very
It's
small
interesting.
percentage.
Yeah, I'm going to get one.
Once that car is autonomous, my rough estimate is that it is in use for at least a third of the hours of the week. So call it 50, maybe 55 hours of the week. And it can be used for both cargo delivery and people delivery. So even, let's say people are asleep, but you can deliver packages in the middle of the night or resupply restaurants or whatever the case may be, whatever people
so your
need
car makes money for you.
at all
We've
hours
been
of the
talking
day.
about it.
or night.
But when the day comes
Um,
and that car starts making money for its owners, that thing gonna sell.
I agree.
These things that already exist with no incremental
Missed
cost change,
roadkill.
just a software update, now have 5 times or more the utility than they currently have. I think this will be the largest asset value increase in human history. Maybe there's something bigger, but I just don't know what it is. And so people who look in the rearview mirror are looking for past precedent, except I don't think there is one. So,
He's
but,
super bold on these
you know,
statements.
but like the reality of autonomy is upon us. And I repeat my advice: try driving the car, or let it drive you.
Or let it
So,
drive you. That's
Now,
interesting.
it works very well in the US, but of course, it will over time work just as well everywhere else. Yeah. So we're working hard to grow our annual volumes. Our constraint this year, our current constraint is battery packs this year, but we're working on addressing that constraint. And I think we will make progress on addressing that constraint. And then things are really going to go ballistic next year, and really ballistic in 27 and 28. So, yeah. So a bit more on full self-driving. Our Q4 vehicle safety report shows continued year-over-year improvement in safety for vehicles. So the safety numbers, if somebody has supervised full self-driving turned on or not, the safety differences are gigantic. And people have seen the immense improvement with version 13, and with incremental versions in version 13, and then version 14 is going to be yet another step beyond that is very significant. We launched the Cortex training cluster at Gigafactory Austin, which was a significant contributor to FSD advancement. And we continue to invest in training infrastructure at our Texas headquarters. So the training needs for Optimus or Optimus humanoid robot are probably at least ultimately 10x what's needed for the car, at least to get to the full range of useful roles. You can say, like, how many different roles are there for a humanoid robot versus a car? A humanoid robot has probably 1,000 times more uses and more complex things than in a car. That doesn't mean the training scales by 1,000, but it's probably 10x. Now you can do this progressively, so it doesn't mean like Tesla's going to spend like $500 billion in training compute, because we will obviously train Optimus to do enough tasks to match the output of Optimus robots. And obviously the cost of training is dropping dramatically with time.
Oh boy.
So, but it is like it's one of those
Chris,
things
you're
where I
right.
think long term
We've heard
Optimus
these
will
before.
be.
We want to see the numbers.
Optimus has the potential to be north of $10 trillion in revenue. Like it's really bananas. So then you can obviously afford a lot of training compute in that situation. In fact, even $500 billion of training compute in that situation would be quite a good deal. Yeah. The future is going to be incredibly different from the past, that's for sure. We live at this unbelievable inflection point in human history. So, yeah. So, the proof is in the pudding. So we're going to be launching unsupervised full self-driving as a paid service in Austin in June.
Texas.
So, I've talked with the team. We feel confident in being able to do an initial launch of unsupervised, no one in the car, full self-driving in Austin in June. We already have Teslas operating autonomously, unsupervised full self-driving at our factory in Fremont,
I thought in California.
and we'll soon be doing that at our factory in Texas. So thousands of cars every day are driving with no one in them at our Fremont factory in California. They will soon be doing that in Austin and then elsewhere in the world, the rest of our factories, which is pretty cool. And the cars aren't just
I mentioned that before, Chris.
driving to exactly the same spot, because obviously it all wouldn't collide at the same spot.
The bar is starting to open
The cars are actually programmed with where with what lane they need to park into to be picked up
Higher
for delivery.
volume than yesterday.
So they drive from the factory end of line to their destination parking spot
I'm with you on that, Chris.
and to be
Watch
picked
out
up
for
for delivery to customers. And they're doing this reliably every day, thousands of times a day.
All right, got above
Pretty
that
cool.
400
Neo
to 404
is
right
not
now.
it.
Like I said, these Teslas will be in the wild with no one in them
Is it? I don't think XPEV
in
is
June
it.
in
I think
Austin.
the only decent
So what I'm saying is,
company in
this is
China
not
is
some
Boyd.
far off mythical situation. It's literally, 5 months away type of thing. And while we're putting our toe in the water gently at first, just to make sure everything's cool, our solution, our solution
Chris,
is a
they definitely
generalized AI solution.
But the
It
Chinese
does not require high
subsidizes
precision
a lot of
maps
those
of a
things.
There's no
locality.
innovation there. This just
So
put
we just want to
money
be
behind it.
cautious. It's not that it doesn't work beyond Austin. In fact, it does. We just want to put a toe in the water, make sure everything is okay. Then
I wish they'd go into
put a
the
few more
numbers
toes in the
already.
water, then put a foot in the
That's
water
not his job. It's the next person's job.
with
Yeah.
safety of the general public and those in the car as our top priority. With regard to Optimus,
He's like me. He's
obviously
just
I'm
talking
making
too much.
these revenue predictions that sound
He's
absolutely
like
insane.
me,
I realize
yeah.
that, but they are. I think they will prove to be accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep saying, yeah.
Now with Optimus, there's a lot of uncertainty on the exact timing because it's not like a train arriving at the station for Optimus. We are designing the train and the station and in real time while also building the tracks. And so they're like, why didn't the train arrive exactly at 12:05? I'm like, we're literally designing the train and the tracks in the station in real time while, so you're like, how can we predict this thing with absolute precision? It's impossible. The normal internal plan calls for roughly 10,000 Optimus robots to be built this year. Will we succeed in building 10,000 exactly by the end of December this year? Probably not. But will we succeed in making several thousand? Yes, I think we will.
Pronounce your name. That's not nice.
Will those several thousand Optimus robots be doing useful things by the end of the year? Yes, I'm confident they will do useful things. Those Optimus in use at the Tesla factories, for production design 1, will inform what we change for production design 2, which we expect to launch next year. And our goal is to ramp Optimus production faster than maybe anything's ever been ramped. Meaning, like, aspirationally, an order of magnitude ramp per year. Now, if we aspire to an order of magnitude ramp per year, perhaps we only end up with a half order of magnitude per year. But that's the kind of growth that we're talking about. It doesn't take very many years before, we're making 100 million of these things a year.
100 million.
100
If you
million.
multiply,
Crazy.
let's say a factor,
Like, his
by
goal is
5x
to put
per
them
year.
in everybody's house, everybody's
Insane.
manufactured.
Not 50%, 500%.
He's already talked about a universal basic income
So,
once the robots take over most of the jobs in AI.
Wow.
big growth numbers.
We'll see if that comes to fruition.
100 million
Yeah.
robots.
But we do need to. This is an entirely new supply chain. It is entirely new technology.
What happens
There's
once
nothing
a
off the
robot
shelf to use.
gets into the
We try
battlefield?
desperately with Optimus to
We
use,
already
DoD will
use
buy
any existing
100 million of
motors,
them.
any actuators, sensors.
And then we're back to the
Nothing
Terminator
worked for a
situation.
humanoid robot at any price. We had to design everything from physics first principles to work for a humanoid robot.
That is good to know, Neo. I did not
and
know
with
about
the most
that when it comes to their
sophisticated
battery.
hand
We've talked
that has
about
ever been made
Technology.
before,
They're,
by
they're
far.
the leader in battery swap. Everybody's
And
trying to
Optimus
get
will
their,
be able to play the
dip their
piano
toe in the water on it, but Neo's the leader in it.
and be able to thread a needle.
So he wants a robot that can thread a
And this
needle.
is the level of precision no one has been able to achieve. And so it's really something special. Yeah. So, and my prediction long term is that Optimus will be overwhelmingly the value of the company.
Yep, that's my prediction too. That's why I said it's overvalued right now. It's all about the robot. The car is going to be a fraction of Tesla.
Can you come back here for a minute? Okay, back to Earth. Energy storage is a big deal, and will become. It's already super important. Will become incredibly important in the future, and it is something that enables far greater energy output to the grid than is currently possible, because the grids are the vast majority of the grid has no energy storage capability, so they have to design the power plants to, for very high peaks, and assuming that there's no energy storage. Once you have grid energy storage and home-based energy storage, the actual total energy output per year of the grid is dramatically greater than people think. Maybe it's at least double.
Energy storage.
This will drive the demand.
He's doing that for
stationary,
like manufacturing
battery
plants,
packs,
the Tesla batteries,
and
the large
especially
scale
the grid
batteries,
scale ones,
manufacturing.
to insane, basically as much demand as we could possibly make. We have our second factory, which is in Shanghai, that's starting operation, and we're building a third factory. So we're trying to ramp output of the stationary battery storage as quickly as possible. Now, there is a challenge here where we have to be careful that we're not robbing from one pocket to take to another pocket, because for a given gigawatt hours per year of cell output, we have to say, does it go into stationary applications or mobile applications? It can't go into both. So we have to make that trade-off.
See you, Chris.
Yeah. But overall, the demand for total gigawatt hours of batteries, whether mobile or stationary, that will grow in a very, very big way over time. So, in conclusion, 2025 really is a pivotal year for Tesla.
Pivotal.
And when people look back on 2025 and the launch of unsupervised full self-driving, true real-world AI that actually works, I think they may regard it as the biggest year in Tesla history. Maybe even bigger than our first car, the Roadster, or the Model S, or the Model 3, or Model Y. In fact, I think it probably will be viewed 25 as maybe the most important year in Tesla's history. There is no company in the world that is as good at real-world AI as Tesla. I don't even know if he's in second place. Like,
he just knows he's in first
place.
place.
Who's in second place for real-world AI? I would need a very big telescope to see them. That's how far behind they are.
Big open candle now on Tesla.
But I will say this, XAI, when I said,
great. Thank you very much, Elon.
did some research on who owns the most H100s
as well.
They came in second place.
Things on Earth.
A lot of articles. Right
As Elon
behind
mentioned, in Q4, we set records in vehicle deliveries and energy storage deployments in an uncertain macro environment. We were able to grow auto and energy storage volumes both sequentially and on a year-on-year basis. For this, I would like to thank the efforts of everyone at Tesla to make this a reality, and our customers who helped us achieve this feat. Coming into the fourth quarter, our focus was to reduce inventory levels in the automotive business. And we accomplished that by ending the quarter with the lowest finished good inventory in the last 2 years. This was a result of offering not only attractive financing options, but also other discounts and programs, which impacted ASPs. While we saw volume growth in almost all regions that we operate in, we hit a new record for deliveries in the Greater China market. This is an encouraging trend since we grew volume in a highly competitive BEV market. On the automotive margin front, we saw a quarter-over-quarter decline, primarily due to lower ASPs and due to the recognition of FSD-related revenue in Q3 from feature releases. Our journey on cost reduction continues, and we were able to get our overall cost per car down below $35,000, driven primarily by material costs. This was despite increased depreciation and other costs as we prepare for the transition to the new Model Y, for which we recently started taking orders in all markets. All our factories will start producing the new Model Y next month. While we feel confident in our team's abilities to ramp production quickly, note that it is an unprecedented change, and we're not aware of anybody else taking the best-selling car on the planet and updating all factories at the same time. This changeover will result in several weeks of lost production in the quarter. As a result, margins will be impacted due to idle capacity and other ramp-related costs, as is common in any launch, but will be overcome as production is ramped. We will be introducing several new products throughout 2025. We are still on track to launch a more affordable model in the first half of 2025, and we'll continue to expand our lineup from there.
Didn't they release
On a dollar-for-dollar basis, we believe we have the most compelling lineup today compared to the industry, and it will continue to get better from here. As always, all our products come with the best software in the industry, autonomy features, and capable of full autonomy in the future. And despite the premium experience, the total cost of ownership is close to mass market, less premium competitors. Energy storage deployments reached an all-time high in Q4 and resulted in, but declined sequentially. This was a result of higher, growth came from Megapack and Powerwall. Both businesses continue to be supply constrained, and like Elon mentioned, we're trying to ramp up production with Megafactory Shanghai coming online this quarter onwards. While quarterly deployments will likely continue to fluctuate sequentially, we expect at least 50% growth in deployments year over year in 2025. Gross profit and margins in the service and other business was up year over year, but declined sequentially. This was the result of higher service center costs and lower profit from used car business. The businesses within service and other primarily support our new car business, especially through their impact on total cost of ownership. Therefore, while we manage them to be positive on a GAAP basis, we do not expect similar margins as the rest of the business. There's a lot of uncertainty around tariffs. Over the years, we've tried to localize our supply chain in every market, but we are still very reliant on parts from across the world for all our businesses. Therefore, the imposition of tariffs, which is very likely, and any reciprocity will have an impact on our business and profitability. Our operating expenses grew both year over year and sequentially. The biggest driver of the increase was R&D as we continue to invest in AI-related initiatives. The remaining increase came from growth in our sales capabilities and marketing efforts from referral program. For 2025, we expect operating expenses to increase to support our growth initiatives. It is important to point out that the net income in Q4 was impacted by a $600 million mark-to-market benefit from Bitcoin due to the adoption of a new accounting standard for digital assets, whereby we'll take mark-to-market adjustments through other income every reporting period going forward. Our free cash flow for the quarter was $2 billion, and despite CapEx increase of over $2.4 billion in 2024, we were able to generate free cash flow of $3.6 billion for the year. CapEx efficiency is something we are extremely focused on. While we have invested in AI-related initiatives, we have done so in a very targeted manner to utilize this spend to get immediate benefits. The build-out of Cortex was accelerated because of the actually helped accelerate the rollout of FSD version 13. Accumulative AI-related CapEx, including infrastructure, so far has been approximately $5 billion. And for 2025, we expect our CapEx to be flat on a year-over-year basis. In conclusion, like Elon said, 2025 is going to be a pivotal year for Tesla. There are a lot of investments which we've made and will continue to make in this coming year, which will set the pace for the next phase of growth. And, it is something which now I'm getting out of work. It is going to be out of this world. And we just are putting the right foundation. And that's all I have.
Great. Thank you very much, Vaibhav. Now we will move over to investor questions, and we'll start with say.com. The first question
What
is
about you?
is unsupervised FSD still planned
No,
for release in
there's
Texas and
not enough
California this
attendance
year,
for all
while
that.
hurdles still exist to make that happen? You addressed the Texas piece, I think, already. So
Yeah, I'm confident that we will release unsupervised FSD in California this year as well.
Unsupervised.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
going to be big
yeah.
for Tesla if they can make
In
it
fact, I
happen.
think we will
There was a delay.
most likely release unsupervised FSD in many regions of the country, of the US, by the end of this year. Like I said, we're just putting a toe in the water, then a few toes, then a foot, then leg, then, make sure everything's cool.
Make sure everything's cool.
We're looking for a safety level that is significantly above the average human driver. So it's not anywhere like much safer, not like a little bit safer than human, way safer than human. So the standard has to be very high, because the moment there's any kind of, accident with an autonomous car, this immediately gets worldwide headlines. Even though
Yeah, it is.
about 40,000 people die every year in car accidents in the US.
Oh, that's great.
And
to add
that
that.
most of them don't even get a mention anywhere. But if somebody scrapes a shin with an autonomous car, it's headline news.
He's got a point
You
there.
want to avoid that.
Yeah.
People don't want that.
So it's really from an
People
the only thing
scrape a
holding it back
shin.
is an excess of caution. But people can certainly get a feel for how well the car would perform as unsupervised FSD by simply allowing the car to drive you around your city and see how many times did you have to intervene, not where you wanted to intervene or were a little concerned, but how many times did you have to intervene for?
So that's an
For
ambitious
definite
goal to
safety
have
reasons.
the fully
And you will
autonomous
find
By the
in
end of
most
the
parts
year,
of the country.
currently
both
very rare.
Texas
By end of the
and
year, yeah.
California.
And over time, almost never.
I don't think many people are thinking
Great.
that soon.
thank you very much. The next
I
question
don't want to hear
is,
the next question.
are there any discussions
How
with
do
other
you
auto companies about
quantitate
licensing
way higher?
FSG?
Higher than where it is
Yes.
right now. And way higher than where it is. Right now.
What we're seeing is, at this point, significant interest from a number of major
Wait a
car
minute,
companies
Clay,
about
hold on,
licensing Tesla.
Okay, you got it. Go ahead. All right. I'm ready to
Y'all ready to close
Yeah,
out?
I'm ready to close out. We
We got her.
We sat through 2 calls. One of them was unanticipated because we didn't expect that. But we sat through 2 calls. We watched the stocks. And I'm sure that between Ryan and I, we'll bring up some more stuff on these stocks. I don't know what Ryan's video is tomorrow, but I got to do a follow-up
I don't
video.
know
To
either.
the, I gotta do a follow-up to the Yield Max video.
But I will say this: my video tonight just dropped 6 o'clock. It's going to be on Nvidia and Apple. Which dip is better? It's like 15 minutes long. A lot of chart analysis. Definitely check it out.
I think AVGO is better than both of those.
What? We might talk about that. I don't know. Might be. I'm going to say no.
I got my ideas on which one I would like, but I did watch your video and I thought it was very well presented. You did a great job. Unlike all
Thank
your
you.
other ones, you did a really good
They're
job on this.
crappy.
Yeah,
I
they're-
don't know why
none of your
people
videos
watch
are crappy, bro. None of your videos are crappy. But I
why
took a
didn't
liking
I
to
get
this
my
one.
notification?
I
The notification for the 6 p.m. video I set for 6:05. So everyone should get that in about 1 minute. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. You will get it.
I don't feel like I'm tired. I'm hungry, and I'm cranky.
You hungry?
I'm
Oh,
tired. I think I'm hangry. I'm tired. I'm hungry, and I'm cranky.
You going to Golden Corral?
No, that's tomorrow. Janet comes back Friday, so I didn't go to Golden
shoot.
Corral
Sick
this
sick
week.
now.
I'm thinking I'm going to do it Friday. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. Tonight.
Bringing the lady to Golden Corral.
Right now, my daughter cooked. I think she made stuffed peppers.
Oh, that does sound good. A little healthy for you, but does sound good.
Yeah, and then I'm eating one of these tangerines. Janet bought a whole bunch of them before she left. I love these. These are awesome. All right. Hey, we're not signing off. I'm ready to go. Unless you want to sign off any particular way.
Deborah says, "Why am I not getting your notices when I pay for them?"
You don't pay for notices, Deborah. You don't pay for notices. You
That was
pay
kinda
for the
rude to say.
survey. You pay for the service.
Do you have the app on your phone? Because if you have the app on your phone, you'll definitely get the notifications. but you should get the notification.
Yeah, I just jumped up and down on that because I don't want nobody thinking that, oh, you pay for these notices and you ain't. That's not how that works. The notices are part of YouTube. We set up there's another app that we set up the notices for. And you got to make sure that you've already hit the bell icon. It should go out to you, right? And I know people.
Or check your notification settings on your phone. Because that could be a lot of things. And it could just be the phone blocking the notifications.
Okay.
So, so go to your settings. Should be notifications. It should go to like individual apps. Again, I'm a Google user. Glenn might be able to tell you for the Apple side. I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't trust him. What are you eating? An orange?
Oh, this orange is so good. I told you I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah. I know. You got to get some sugar in you.
No, I need to get the sugar out of me.
Oh, okay. That's the problem. Why are you eating orange? It has sugar.
Because it's so good, and I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry.
Well, it's better than candy.
I'm here a little later than I normally am, so.
Hey, we're just yap. Everybody have a great evening.
There you
I know
go.
Glenn is gonna sign out. He's gonna get some food. He's gonna take the lady to Golden Corral tomorrow. I got a good 6 p.m. video coming out. Actually, just came out a couple minutes ago. Tomorrow night, I don't know what the video will be about. How about this? Drop me some ideas in the comment section. There we go. Drop the ideas in the comment section. I'll take a look at it as soon as this live stream wraps up.
There you go. I like
see
that.
if there's a good story in place, and we'll roll with it. How about that? And no, the story's not going to be about, well, it could be about pizza. It might get a lot of views if I did a story about pizza.
Domino's.
All right, everybody have a good evening, and we will catch you tomorrow.
See ya.